Kelly Ripa has never been one to hold back her opinions, and that's exactly why her fans adore her. But during a seemingly innocent segment on Live with Kelly and Mark this week, her latest hot take managed to spark one of the most unexpected debates in recent daytime TV memory, the Great Girl Scout cookie controversy. It all started when the show's producers decided to kick off a lighthearted discussion about America's favorite seasonal treats. What began as a cheerful stroll down nostalgia lane quickly spiraled into chaos when Ripa dropped a bombshell about a particular cookie flavor, one that most fans consider sacred. By the time the episode wrapped, the internet was ablaze, hashtags were trending, and Kelly had once again proven that she's one of daytime television's most unfiltered and entertainingly honest voices. A sweet segment turned sour. The episode opened with Kelly and Mark Consuelos chatting about fall comfort foods, pumpkin spice, apple pie, and all things cozy. When producer Michael Gelman wheeled out a tray piled high with Girl Scout cookies from every era, the studio audience erupted in nostalgic applause. "Nothing says childhood like these," Kelly gushed at first, her eyes lighting up at the sight of the colorful boxes. "I used to sell them outside the grocery store with my troupe, though, full disclosure, I ate half the inventory myself." Mark chuckled. "That tracks. You were your own best customer." Everything seemed perfectly harmless until the conversation turned to America's most beloved cookie flavor, Thin Mints. "I'm sorry," Kelly began, her tone suddenly shifting. "I know this might sound blasphemous, but Thin Mints are wildly overrated." The studio gasped. Mark's jaw literally dropped. "I said what I said," Kelly continued with mock defiance. "They taste like toothpaste in a cookie costume. I want dessert, not dental hygiene." The audience erupts. As soon as the words left her mouth, the studio audience broke into a chorus of laughter, groans, and disbelief. One fan sitting in the front row was even caught on camera mouthing, "How could she?" Mark immediately tried to play peacemaker. "Okay, hold on, honey. I love you, but that's dangerous talk. You're gonna have Girl Scouts camping out in protest outside our building." Kelly just shrugged. "Let them come. I'll offer them a Samoa as a peace offering, a real cookie." And with that, the debate was on. The internet meltdown. Within minutes, clips of Kelly's Thin Mint take were circulating across social media. Fans took to X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to share their outrage, or, in some cases, their support. One viral post declared, "Kelly Ripa just called Thin Mints toothpaste cookies. I'm personally offended. Hashtag Thin Mints forever cookie green heart." Another user chimed in, "She's not wrong though. Samoa supremacy." And yet another said, "I never thought I'd see the day Kelly Ripa divided the nation over a cookie. But here we are." By the end of the day, hashtag Team Thin Mint and hashtag Team Samoa were trending side by side, while fans jokingly called for a televised cookie debate between Ripa and Mark. Mark's diplomatic response. During the segment, Mark Consuelos, ever the charming diplomat, tried to steer the conversation into safer territory. "Okay, so if not Thin Mints," he said cautiously, "what's your favorite?" Kelly didn't hesitate. "Tagalongs. Chocolate and peanut butter, perfection. You can freeze them, dip them in milk, eat them in one bite, chef's kiss." Mark nodded. "Fair, but come on, Thin Mints from the freezer. That's next level." Kelly rolled her eyes. "I've tried them frozen, I've tried them room temp, I've even tried them desperate at midnight, they still taste like brushing my teeth with cocoa powder." The audience roared with laughter again, but Mark just shook his head in mock disbelief. "You're brave," he teased. "There are people who would fight wars over Thin Mints." Fans flood the comment section. Once Live with Kelly and Mark posted the clip to their official Instagram account, the comments section turned into a cookie battlefield. "Kelly, you're my girl, but this is your worst take yet," wrote one fan. "Tagalongs all the way, Kelly. Finally someone said it," another countered. A third simply posted a gif of Cookie Monster weeping. Several fans even recounted their own cookie ranking lists, inspired by Kelly's bold stance. "We need a full Girl Scout cookie taste test on air," one commenter begged. And it seems producers might actually make it happen, if Gelman's sly on-camera grin was any indication. The Girl Scouts respond, sort of. The controversy even reached the official Girl Scouts of the USA account, which cheekily joined the fun by tweeting, "We love all our cookies equally, but we'll save a special Thin Mint for Kelly Ripa, just in case she changes her mind. Winking face cookie hashtag respect all cookies." Kelly reposted the tweet later that afternoon, writing, "I respect the troops, but I stand by my palate." That reply alone earned thousands of likes and laughing emojis, with fans praising her for sticking to her guns, despite the backlash. A cookie war divides the live crew. By the next morning, even the live production crew was taking sides. Reports from audience members who attended the next taping said that the show's backstage catering featured labeled boxes, one reading, Team Thin Mint, another, Team Kelly aka Tagalongs Only. Gelman jokingly announced during the warm-up, "We may need HR to mediate this cookie crisis." Kelly, ever the instigator, quipped, "I'll bring in the milk, for my cookies only." The tension, of course, was all in good fun. Still, fans noticed that Mark kept sneaking Thin Mints throughout the show as a not-so-subtle act of rebellion. The psychology of cookie loyalty. Amid the chaos, psychologists and cultural commentators online even began chiming in, half-seriously analyzing what the uproar revealed about fandom and nostalgia. One viral thread read, "Thin Mints aren't just cookies, they're childhood, tradition, and identity. When Kelly Ripa attacked Thin Mints, she attacked our memories." Another joked, "It's like criticizing your grandma's apple pie. You can be right, but you'll still be disowned." Still, many fans applauded Kelly for saying what they'd secretly thought for years. Finally someone said it. One viewer wrote, "Thin Mints are the emperor's new cookies." Kelly doubles down. True to form, Kelly didn't back down the next day. During her morning monologue, she addressed the cookie chaos with a wink. "You guys, I had no idea my dessert preferences were a matter of national security," she said. "The messages I got. One person told me to repent before the next cookie season. Another called me a tagalong traitor." She paused dramatically. "I'd like to apologize to absolutely no one." Mark burst out laughing. "Oh no, she's doubling down." Kelly nodded proudly. "Look, if loving tagalongs is wrong, I don't want to be right." From cookies to culture. As silly as the debate might seem, it tapped into something deeper, the power of comfort food and the fierce loyalty people feel toward the simple joys that define their childhoods. Girl Scout cookies aren't just snacks. They're a yearly ritual, a connection to nostalgia, and in many households, a competition to see who can grab the last sleeve. Kelly's opinion may have ruffled feathers, but it also brought a flood of laughter, memories, and surprisingly heartfelt stories from fans. One viewer wrote in, "I sold cookies as a kid to pay for summer camp. My dad and I used to eat Thin Mints together every spring. They'll always remind me of him." Another fan responded, "Samoas remind me of my mom. We used to hide them from my brother because he'd eat the whole box." Kelly's right, they're the real MVP. Suddenly, what began as a throwaway comment had turned into a collective trip down memory lane. The show capitalizes on the craze. Never ones to waste a good pop culture moment, the producers of Live with Kelly and Mark announced a special, Cookie Showdown, for next week's broadcast. The idea, Kelly, Mark, and a panel of celebrity guests will blind taste every Girl Scout cookie variety and rate them live on air. According to teasers, the lineup includes Ryan Seacrest, Hoda Kotb, and even one of the real-life Girl Scouts of America national ambassadors, to keep things fair and official. Kelly joked, "I'm ready to defend my palate in the court of cookies." Mark smirked, "I'll bring the Thin Mints. Justice will prevail." Fans can't wait. Social media has already exploded with anticipation. Viewers are placing bets, making memes, and jokingly organizing cookie watch parties. Live's Cookie Showdown is the Super Bowl one didn't know one needed, one fan wrote. "Someone better bring milk," said another. Even grocery stores have reported a sudden spike in cookie sales as fans stock up to eat along with the episode. A sweet ending. By the week's end, Kelly's cookie confession had gone from controversial to downright iconic. Even those who disagreed with her couldn't deny that she'd once again managed to turn everyday conversation into unforgettable TV magic. As one viewer summed it up perfectly, Kelly Ripa could argue about paper clips and somehow make it hilarious. But cookies, that's her Oscars moment. And perhaps that's the true power of Kelly Ripa, she takes the trivial and turns it into something that gets people talking, laughing, and, in this case, reaching for their favorite box of cookies. Whether you're Team Thin Mint, Team Tagalong, or somewhere in between, one thing's for certain, thanks to Kelly, America has rediscovered its love for the Girl Scout's sweetest tradition. As the closing credits of Live rolled that morning, Kelly smiled mischievously into the camera and offered one final jab. "Remember, kids, brush twice a day, but don't eat your toothpaste." Cue Mark's laughter, the audience's cheers, and one very satisfied talk show host who'd managed, once again, to stir up the perfect mix of humor, nostalgia, and controversy, all with a cookie.